Good morning, everyone. This is the Doctor. It is 1:54 p.m. here on Sunday, April 26th, and welcome everyone to our first official DiggsCast podcast, you guys. We're going to be covering everything Final Fantasy Tactics that you need to know for the coming week. We're going to be talking about the current state of the channel, things you should be farming, and we're going to be going over any corrections that I might have missed in my videos over the last week as well. And finally, we're going to talk about our Unit Feature Friday, which is going to be a viewer submission actual feature for you guys. So we'll show you guys all how to apply and where you should be applying on our Discord. So let's go ahead and start off with just a conversation about the current state of the channel right now. So currently right now, you guys, I've been making content a lot for you guys, and I've been enjoying it quite a bit as well. And you can even see I'm still learning right now. I'm even I'm even moving the slide around on the screen because I'm not able to get it exact. Current state of the channel right now is that I'm mostly doing character reviews, news, and pull videos for you guys, and I'm streaming every night except for Mondays between 8 p.m. Pacific time and 1 a.m. Pacific time. Now, I'm also having some, discovery issues because I'm fully new to this, so full exposure, you can expect random pop-ups to happen in the middle of my videos. I am someone who is very spontaneous, and I believe in just jumping in and doing things. So as I'm learning how to create a more consistent experience and make it a little bit more balanced, you even just saw me adjusting that slide there earlier, please have some patience with me. I am working on it. My husband and I are learning a lot right now. We are asking for advice from a lot of people, so just something to keep in mind there. In terms of the future state, the direction I see the channel going, I see us doing a lot of character reviews. I see us doing more news and pull videos. And of course, I want to do more of this DiggsCast, so I want to be doing a podcast every single week talking about more of the Visions content that's coming out and where we're at with that. So I'm going to love to do this Feature Friday unit with our viewer-submitted highlights, and I'm going to also really be trying to do interviews with other content creators. So if there's any other content creators out there that are interested in being interviewed or would love to be talked to, that's something I really want to do. And if I can't do interviews with content creators, I think I might start doing interviews with people in our community. So expect to see something like that coming in the future. And of course, I am going to maintain my stream every night except Mondays, because that is date night, you guys. And my husband and I have plans on that night. One other thing that's currently in future state right now is that we are almost at 100 subscriptions on Twitch, and you guys may start seeing my actual webcam putting me on the camera. So I may actually be on camera soon, you guys. It's not something I'm currently doing, but it may be something we work towards here in the near future. All right, now let's go ahead and transition and talk about potential upcoming banners. Now, full disclosure here, you guys, I don't know for sure if this banner is coming this week, and I have a feeling we're probably going to have another week of Final Fantasy Tactics banners before we actually get this banner. In addition to that, I have a feeling we aren't going to get this exact banner, because when the Kitone and the Whisper banner were released in JP, it was around New Year's, and so they got things like the New Year's card along with it as well. So I have a feeling we're not going to get the New Year's card, and the event is going to be focused much more around Kitone and Whisper and Odin. I think it is likely that we'll probably see some other form of Final Fantasy Tactics summon this week, but on the off chance that they do decide to do Odin, Kitone, and Whisper, I decided to do a little quick breakdown for you guys just so we kind of know what's coming and what you can expect in the coming week. So first off, we have Kitone here, and she's going to be a very powerful unit. The first thing you're going to see is that she's a ninja, and her first subclass is Soldier, and her second subclass is Time Mage. Now this is of course going to unlock a ton of abilities for her, right? The moment you're thinking Soldier subclass, you think of the passive that adds 60% attack, while you take increased damage from other sources by 8%. The moment you think Time Mage, you're thinking quick, you're thinking haste, you're thinking slow. And then you look at her base stats down here, 1700, not the highest attack, AP 122, not the highest AP. But she does have what Shadowlynx has with that high movement of 4, that jump of 3, and she does have an attack of 251. So very similar to Shadowlynx, she has very beefy stats and attacks, except for her HP. So I have a feeling with that 61 agility, we're going to see her get in here, and I think she's actually going to be a very viable UR unit. And the only drawback, though, is that she is Earth Element, but let's be honest, that's going to be an excellent Orlando and an excellent Frederica counter. And with that Shuriken, she might just have that survivability and speed to take them out before they take her out. Her Master ability is also going to give her Evasion plus 15, which is wonderful. And if anyone here has watched any content on my channel, they know how much of an avid believer I am of the Evasion plus 15, or Evasion plus anything. Her TMR is going to give HP 142, Evasion 12, Speed 5, Critical Evasion 12. This is a beautiful piece of equipment for an accessory slot, and it does give the ability of Move and Jump plus 1 for self for 3 turns, and it decreases self-enmity. So if you're thinking about your AI, if you're thinking about being able to set abilities in the future in AI battles, this could potentially be really powerful. I think Kitone is definitely worth the investment, and I would definitely pull for her if I wanted a ninja character like her. Now, of course, we have Whisper here, and I was unable to find any information on Whisper's TM right now. So Whisper is going to be a Knight, Samurai, and Rune Knight. And the thing you have to remember about Whisper is related to Grace first, and then Murmur. You see, I got that Grace first, you guys. I've been mixing them up this whole time. Her Master ability is going to give slashing attack plus 5 and resistance to all attack types plus 5. So if you look at her resistances, just like Grace and Murmur, she has a 25% resistance to all damage. Add an additional 5% to that, and she's going to be a beefy unit. Now, her HP is 1,661, again, lower than Kitone's previously. She only has a movement of 3 and a jump of 1 with an attack of 213, which is substantially lower than Kitone. 53 speed, which is pretty low as well. If you compare Eileen, Eileen only has a speed of 51, so this is a very slow unit, and a range of 1. And if you look at her jobs, you see Knight, Samurai, and Rune Knight. But the thing that stands out to me here when I was looking at her abilities is, of course, going to be Samurai. Rune Knight, I'm kind of go either way on. I think really her build is going to be focused around that Samurai kit, and even then I think the Samurai kit doesn't necessarily relate to her kit entirely. I would have to see some type of a special build or something else that really highlights why she's special or why we really want to invest in her as a unit. She is Dark type as well, and we have just gotten a ton of Dark type units recently, and I'm not sure I would want to fully invest in her right now. Again, I know there's someone out there who wants to make a PvP comp of all 3 of these sisters, and if that's you, good on you, dude, because I think that would be the most annoying thing to face in PvP ever with all of their damage resistances. I think, though, that Whisper is going to be one of those characters that when you pull her, you're not going to be focusing on building her immediately. And in the JP tier list, she is ranked at the bottom of B, but you guys know how I feel about those tier lists. I don't like to shove units into tier lists, so I am going to wait to be pleasantly surprised by whatever Whisper delivers in the future. Now, of course, we have Odin. And if you are lucky enough to pull Odin, you are a lucky, lucky person. Odin's max stats are HP 823, Attack 80, Agility 19, AP 40, Dex 55. It's beefy. Odin is going to be the best Esper on any attacking unit. And even then, he could be the best Esper on any defensive unit. Let's talk about why. Odin gets some crazy shit, you guys. His summon attack ability does give crit to the entire party. He gives you 15% slash resistance, which there are so many slashing units up in the world right now. Like, let's just imagine that. That's going to reduce the damage you take significantly. He gives Human Killer plus 25%, you guys. That's right. 25% human killer, that would be a 25% damage bonus against any unit that you're attacking in almost PvP or PvE almost. In addition to that, he gives slash attack up, let's count the percentages here, 9, 15%, and he gives an attack up plus 7%. So literally, you are not going to get any better than putting Odin on one of your characters. There are some drawbacks though to Odin in that he is elementalless. So you are not going to be able to match a specific type of, say, Esper Awakening items to him. He is going to eat and gobble all of them. And for those of you that played Brave Exvius, not getting those Esper material bonuses for the certain elements is quite painful. His card is also quite incredible. And if you're lucky enough to pull this, you should just put it on your characters even at level 1. So his card gives HP 220, attack 94, magic 25 at its baser level. And it gives Man-Eater to the character that is equipping it. So again, it's going to start at 4% and cap out at 10%. What really makes it powerful though is this party ability here at level 1, which is single attack resistance plus 10. And it maxes out at single attack resistance plus 20. Now what this is essentially a physical damage minus percentage for all of the characters in your party. So it's not going to work on magic attacks, but it will work on like single attacks. What it won't work on is like double shot for Marika. So the double shots, I believe, and there's no data that I can find on this, that the second shot is going to be unmitigated. But what this will do is if for characters that are using like Shuriken, for example, like my Stern's going to run in, and if you have Odin equipped, I'm going to throw my Shuriken at you, and it's going to reduce the Shuriken damage by 20% if you have Odin maxed out. So for units that try and go in and glass cannon you down, if you can imagine them doing that and then running out of AP, and then you can just mop them up afterwards. So this is going to be really that push towards an increased tank meta as well as an increased evasion meta, give you the extra survivability. It's really trying to counter that glass cannon mentality. And if you are like me and have a glass cannon build, you should be concerned. In terms of upcoming events, you guys, this week, I think that the Final Fantasy Tactics EX quest is going to be coming out. And you can see here from the pictures, we got some stuff to talk about. So it's going to be exactly the same as the last mission currently that we have in our version of the Final Fantasy Tactics missions. There are other units on the field. So there's wolves, there's chocobos, there's an ogre in one of the corners. And of course, we have the big boss up there, up top on the stairs. And from what I'm understanding when I'm looking through this, you want to take out the ogre first, then the chocobos, and then the final boss. And if you are trying to get all of the achievements, you are only going to be able to use 4 units to be able to do that. And you can bring a guest unit this time. And your guest unit can actually have like Oath of Love on it to either pull the monster's hate towards them. So if you are lower level characters looking to do this as well, if you're a lower level character and you pulled Sid, you still do have access to the rewards that come from this, because one of the rewards from this for completing this is a Sid shard times 20. So you do have a way to have access to get those Sid shards for yourself. And I do believe that this will be coming this week. You can see down here, we do have the image for the extra quest, and there is a multi-function for this. So in the JP version, they did have a multi-function for farming. It does drop the Nagra Rock recipe, so for those of you who are buying all of those in the shop, you should probably stop, because you're probably going to be farming this event for the Nagra Rock recipe. Because it's probably more effective NRG-wise to farm this event for Nagra Rock than to, you know, farm up 500 per tomes times 63, right? So it's going to be like 30,000? 30,000 tokens in order to buy all the Nagra Rock recipes that you need, so no reason to do that. You should just be farming the EX event here and farming it in multi for the NRG reduction, and you get quest rewards from clearing it, and you get recipes from clearing it in multi. So again, no reason you shouldn't be doing this in multi. I'm expecting this to come out. There is one other event that could potentially be coming out that maybe they release it instead or release it with it. And that's going to be the Iron Giant event, which we should be expecting soon. And when we actually get that event, it's going to be a very different type of event and a much more difficult combat event. So for those of you that have been wanting substantially harder content, the Iron Giant event is going to be the first content that's really up that alley in terms of difficult content. Alright guys, now we're getting to the corrections portion of the DiggsCast. So for those of you that have watched my videos, you know I make a lot of mistakes and I am learning just like all of you guys are. Thank you so much to everyone in my Discord and everyone in the YouTube comments for helping me out here and making sure to offer the corrections and not offer them in like a condescending way. A lot of the information out there is garbled from either translations or just completely wrong. And so trying to dig up all of that information has proved to be quite difficult. And a lot of what I'm learning is just as I'm playing the game or people are telling me on Twitch. So thank you so much to everyone in the community. And I'm just going to go over kind of some of the mistakes that I made over the last week. And hopefully this list gets smaller as I do this more and more. So the first thing is going to be the Esper Elemental base stats. I did a bunch of videos on the Esper elements. And what I neglected to do was I neglected to include the base stats that were associated by equipping the Esper. So for example, that's going to be when you equip Ifrit. Ifrit is not going to give a 10% fire resistance. He's actually going to give a 10% ice resistance, which helps him fight against Medina's attacks, for example. One of the other things that I found really frustrating was after I posted my Bravering video yesterday, I found out that I think I was reading the calculation wrong on bravery. So it looks like your bravery maxes out at 100 and that the bravering does actually affect your actual bravery. It does not affect the modifier in any way, and it does not go over 100. And from the looks of it as well, I was trying to do some testing and I'm not sure if the equation for the damage is correct on the website that I quoted. It seems like there's something off with it, because when I was testing my Stern against a 0 defense unit, I was doing the damage that was equivalent to my attack, not the damage that would have been equivalent to my attack multiplied times my bravery in any regard. So there seems to be something going on with bravery, and I'm not sure if bravery actually is a part of the damage calculation. We were talking about it in my Discord yesterday, we talked about it on stream, and there's been no verification of it. And I know there was a rumor a while ago that bravery only affected reaction abilities, and I'm starting to wonder if that's actually true. So for any of you guys out there who are willing to test this, or if this is something you want to dive more into, hop in my Discord, let me know, and we can set up a study with everyone and try and figure this out. In my video that I was talking about to counter Sid, I mistakenly called Murmur Grace. Shame on me for that. I do have a habit of confusing the two. When I was doing my Gilgamesh video this morning, I did not call out that he has a limit break shard ×2 in the actual video. I actually put it in the title, I did not put it in the video, so there's that. I did not call out equipment dismantling in my Equipment 101 video. I did not call out equipment stat competing because I was planning on doing another video on that. So what that is when you have a TMR equip that maybe has evasion +7, and then you have a dodge hat that has the evasion +19 or something, you're only going to get the evasion +19. It's not going to stack and give you that evasion +26. On my 30-day review, I came off a little more negative than I intended to, so please forgive me for that. I did not call out Shadowlink's Samurai sub very well. I think her evasion plus ability that she gets from that is actually pretty good. And after reflecting and talking to some people in the comments section and in my Discord, we did talk about how Shadowlink's Samurai sub is actually a little bit more viable than the credit I gave. Shout out to AOJ for this one. He commented in the comments section about Iron Armor, and I totally just shit on Iron Armor all over the place. And turns out the -3 agility is actually worth it if you can get something like a barrier build or a defense build where it gives defense +15, HP +304. That kind of trade-off of that quantity of defense is actually pretty good for the cost of the Iron Armor. So shout out to AOJ for that. I did not include in my Ramza video the Ramza shards for the daily purchase that you can get. So you can get Ramza shards by purchasing something daily, and that is currently going on right now. When I made one of the videos, I can't even remember which one, I talked about Paladin Guard and Sword Guard. And I said that I didn't know which one was which, but I thought that Paladin Guard defended from both. I was actually wrong. Paladin is a 45% physical mitigation passive, or counter. And then Sword Guard is a 30% mitigation counter with magic and physical reduction. In my last either accessories video or armor video, I made a claim that you can equip a hat and a vest. You actually cannot because they are both armor. Alright, you guys, that's it for this week's correction. Let's go ahead and move on here. Thank you again so much for all of the patience you guys are having with me while I am learning this game. And again, thank you so much for throwing out the corrections down in the comments section. It means so much to me. In terms of our recommended weekly farm, the Final Fantasy Tactics event, I'm going to recommend 5,000 tokens a day. So that's an average NRG of 600 NRG. For free to play, I would recommend 2,500 per day with an NRG of 300. And then this week, what you're going to want to look out for is if EX comes out, check the NRG and token comparison. Right now, it's about 6 NRG to 50 tokens on average. Again, the reason I would recommend 2,500 tokens or 5,000 tokens is that enables you to buy 10 of each of a certain Elemental of Awakening materials. So, for example, if you are working on Sid over the course of the event, you may be able to buy about 140 or 150 of the different items needed to awaken Sid, which could be really great or really potentially powerful for your characters. The other thing I recommend you guys farm is going to be the equipment event in multi. So it's going to be at half NRG if you farm it in the multi for the 6 NRG. You're going to be getting card awakening items, which is critical. There's been no other way except for the card awakening room to get the card awakening items. So that's going to be so critical. Leveling up your cards, getting those passive stats up, getting those party buffs up. So important, you guys. It's one of the easiest ways to increase the base stats on all of your characters, no matter what. You need to be getting in there and doing that. If you're not doing that yet, you need to go in. Even if you don't need any of the books, the card awakening items are so good. Not only that, it gives equipment awakening items, and it does give the weapon books. For free to play, get in our Discord if you're not gonna have the NRG, and leech the hell out of my whales. My whales are in there all the time. They're always hanging out. They're always wanting to farm multi. Go in there. Someone will want to farm multi with you. If you guys got Sid in the recent polls, shoot for your LB4 or LB5. For free to play, make sure you shoot for LB3. You're going to need 7,000 Visio required for that in order to buy the quantity of shards needed from the shop to max him out to LB3 so that he can potentially still be viable in the later game content that you might be facing. Alright, you guys, now we're going to talk about the Feature Friday, everyone. So for those of you who haven't been around in my Discord or haven't been on stream, Feature Friday is something that I've wanted to do for about the last week or so because I wanted to get you guys involved, and I'm very interested in the different types of unit builds that you guys have out there that are unique, right? So that's going to be stuff like, you know, I don't know, like like using an All Sisters build in PvP for Murmur and Grace and Whisper, right? Or giving me a Whisper build that is actually super overpowered that I wasn't thinking about. So these are all the types of things that I'm hoping you guys will submit, and that I'll be able to pick 1 or 2 every week to either feature in the DiggsCast or to feature on our Friday feature, and we can talk about, you know, unconventional builds, things that maybe you want to have some fun in the game. Maybe your favorite unit is Whisper. Maybe you've been waiting for Whisper to come out. Maybe you want to make a Kitone team, right? An all ninja team. Maybe you want to make, I don't know, a all tank team or an all, you know, something creative. So this is for either a specific unit or an entire team comp. And what I'm wanting you guys to do is to get onto my Discord and submit this under the Feature Friday application, right? And some of the things I'm going to want you to put with that is your build. So I'm going to want to see your Esper card and equipment. If you are using multiple units, I want it to be in the Formations tab. And if you could just post a picture of your Formations tab, that would be great. And if you could also talk about the equipment, you could talk about the advantages and disadvantages of your build. You could talk about why you made that build, right? Like, I want to know the story behind your build. I want to see you know, why someone would want to do this. What's the fun in this, right? What's that painful feeling your opponent feels in PvP when he sees your build and realizes that it's absolutely terrible, but it's really painful. I'll give you an idea right now. My husband, he's not the highest level in our guild battles. So instead of trying to focus on killing the opponent, he has decided to make the most pain in the ass team as possible. So that's going to be Baelo, Engelbert, and Ayaka. So this sort of like really painful build is kind of funny in its own way, and kind of seeing how he's building it, I think, is really interesting. So that's kind of the idea behind the Feature Friday build that I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be starting that this week. Once you submit your build, I will contact you if I think your build is worthy of being featured, and we will talk via Discord messages, and I'll get your permission to use your name, and I'll get your opinions on the build, and then I will make sure, of course, to feature you in the video by just calling out whose build it is and what their name is in Discord and all of that. So you guys, that's it for my first podcast. It's only 26 minutes long, but you know, I think this is going to get longer if we start including interviews, and especially if we start doing the Feature Friday builds, and I'm just really excited to see where we kind of go from here and what type of content you guys are really excited for. I am interested in your feedback. If this podcast format is something you guys are really interested in continuing to see, I would love to hear that in the comments section. It means so much to me to see the comments. I am starting to get so many comments that it's getting difficult to respond to every single one, but I promise you I do read every single one, and I do try my best to respond to every single one. Shout out to all of you people who are also answering questions in the comments section. That has been so helpful for me when we have beginner players here. It's been so great for the community, especially when questions might not be answered elsewhere or things might be confusing right now. So if you are one of those new players, feel free to ask questions down in the comments section. Someone will help you. Come into my Discord, ask questions. We are all friendly, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day today. Peace out, my guys, and happy Sunday.